I'm Michelle,
And for those of you that are new here, welcome to our channel. My name is Jessie.
and we're Moms on Crime. Today, Jessie has a gruesome story for us. I'm scared to hear it. I don't know anything about this story. What are we talking
Yeah.
about today, Mama?
Yes, so this story is very gruesome. So before we start, viewer discretion is advised. If you're a little squeamish, I'll give you guys a warning when to kind of fast forward or something. So today we are going to talk about this person. Well, this happened in San Francisco, California. So from the desert, we are branching out to the Bay Area. Today, we're going to talk about Brian Egg. So Brian, he was born in September 11th, 1952. He was 55 years old. Back in the day, he was a bartender at a gay bar that it was called the Stud. So I think this was like back in the 70s or 80s. So yeah, Brian was also known as a nice, friendly guy. He loved to talk about his neighbors. He loved to walk his dog. He loves gardening. He's just, like a neighbor guy, like a neighbor that you would want to be friends with because, and even some of his neighbors said like he's a very eccentric guy, but very kind. He has, a nice personality. So Brian bought his house back in 1979. Guess how much he bought the house for?
Probably like $70,000.
$19,000.
Oh yeah, I guess 70 is too much for the 70s, huh?
Yeah,
God.
it was like back in 1979 in San Francisco. So he bought it for like around $20,000.
Oh
Wow,
my
what can
God.
you buy for $19,000?
Nothing.
Yeah, pretty
Nothing.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But the last time I heard, the house was on the market, if not sold. It was on Zillow. I'm not sure if it was sold, but it was going for $1.5 million.
Because it's in San Francisco. Nice,
Yeah,
like real estate over there. Even if it's not nice, it's just you're paying for where you live.
yeah. I think you pay for the weather over there too. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
San Francisco is very foggy and it has like a very bipolar weather. When I was there, summertime, sometimes even like early in the morning when I would go to school, I still had to bring a hoodie. And then in the afternoon, it gets super duper hot. And then at nighttime, it gets really chilly again. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, so you kind of have to bring, because you never know when it's going to be like super cold again or it's going to be like super warm. So,
Hmm.
and like here in Arizona, you already know. It's like you don't,
Yeah.
it's
It's
like
hot.
100 degrees all the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Brian, like I said, he's this very friendly guy, just outgoing. He was also seen going and eating at like homeless shelters. And because I guess I'm not sure, like after bartending, if he had another job. And he also lived a very frugal, lifestyle. He also
Mhm.
opened his house to homeless people, so the neighbors would see, sometimes like homeless people going in and out because they Brian let them stay to spend the night or something.
Mhm.
But around late May, this happened in 2018. So around late May to June, neighbors noticed that they haven't seen Brian walking his dog or attending to, his plants, gardening, and nobody has talked to him for a while. So they were wondering, what happened? So that grew suspicions. Around June, July, that's when the neighbors start, calling the police. They were making multiple phone calls, telling them, hey, something's not right. This is so not him. We haven't seen him for a while. And, he loved to walk his dog, and just talk to everybody. So the cops came and stopped by, and they did a what they call like a wellness check. So they did that a couple of times. So they knocked on his door, no answer. So they left. And then they did it again, knocked on his door, because neighbors, they were getting worried. Like, hey, where is Brian? We haven't seen him. So, but the cops said, sometimes with like cases like this, they can't just barge in the house and, without any warrant or anything. And I think at this point they couldn't get a warrant to go inside the house yet, because they don't know what happened. But on August 7th, so neighbors noticed him missing, or, haven't seen him around May. On August 7th, Brian's sister filed for a missing person report. So that's like how many months already that they haven't seen or heard from him, right? Oh. Yeah. God. So one day, the neighbors spotted an unknown person washing down Brian Egg's floors. They said with so much soapy water that gushes under the door and into the street. And they said they also smelled like a strong bleach odor.
Ew.
Yeah, so, but they didn't know who that person was, and why the heck was he cleaning the floors. So on August 14th, the neighbors called the cops again to report a suspicious person. And because they found a truck parked outside Brian Egg's house, and the truck is a crime scene cleaning company called Aftermath Services.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, what if that was you and you see something like that parked in front of your neighbor's house, and it's like, but
I'm so nosy. I would go over there and be like, what happened?
What's going on? Yeah. Or I would probably call the cops too, like, Brian's neighbors, like what they did. Because if I don't see any cops or anybody and I just see that truck, I'll be like, something's going down.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
So the cops came and went in his house, but they did not find Brian Egg in the house. But they found this person, Robert McCaffrey. He was in the house and he was detained, and so does Lance Silva. So when I was researching, it's kind of weird, because in some of the stories they said Lance was detained, or he was arrested at a hotel somewhere else. But some of the stories that I read, they said they were both detained and they were both inside the house. So I'm not sure which one it is. But they had two suspects, Robert McCaffrey and Lance Silva.
Oh, God.
So then the cops went in the house. They didn't find Brian, but they said it had that foul smell. Like, it was a very suspicious smell. So the next day, on August 15th, San Francisco Police Department homicide detail took over the investigation, and they also obtained a warrant to search the house. So along with a cadaver dogs, they said it was like over like a 4-day period or something that they were searching his house. So finally, they found a small room with a door concealed with a picture. So that's probably why they didn't find this door right away, because it was behind, I guess, like a big picture.
Oh
So
God.
in that room, they found a fish tank. So, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you guys want to kind of fast forward a little bit, so this is
Can
where
I
kind of
fast forward?
yeah. So just
Can I
fast forward.
Oh gosh.
um,
Okay.
so they found a fish tank, and in that fish tank was a decapitated body submerged in chemicals.
Oh.
So they found a torso and the legs. The head was missing, and so are the arms.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the legs were also severed. They were like in a very, very severe condition. Yeah, and I think the legs were also cut off from the torso, but he was still wearing his socks. That's what they said.
No.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Like,
No.
that's probably what this foul smell was, you know? And it
No.
was, yeah. The remains were in like an advanced state of decomposition. And also in that room, they found empty bottles of Drano and iron sawhorse on the floor. So that's probably what they use, you know, for the chemicals,
They
hoping that,
submerged him in Drano?
yeah, in the fish tank. That's what's in the fish tank with the body.
What made them think that Drano was gonna like do the trick?
I have no idea.
Oh
But the
God.
body was in, you know, like a very advanced state of decomposition already, because
That Drano was not doing the job. That's
no,
gross.
because
Ugh.
it's been like what, months
What?
since he was like reported missing.
Oh, that poor guy. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. So, but DNA confirmed that it was Brian Egg. I also like read somewhere where they said sometimes like killers or murderers, they tend to cut off like the arms or the head so that they wouldn't ID the body right away, or maybe prolong the investigation or throw off, you know, like the investigators a little bit. So yeah. And then the autopsy showed that he was murdered by a blunt force. So I'm assuming like blunt force to the chest, because they haven't found the head yet.
Or the head. Oh yeah, that's true. I guess they wouldn't know if they. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why
Oh.
I'm thinking they only have the torso and the legs. Yeah,
Just
it's
me.
crazy.
Oh.
So on August 2018, Robert McCaffrey was arrested, but he was also released shortly. So I guess there's not enough evidence to link him, but I don't know.
You were in there cleaning up the crime scene? The heck?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know.
No.
Lance Silva, the other guy, though, he was detained, but not because of the murder, but due to violation of his probation. So yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, okay, yeah, they hired crime scene cleaning services, but they're not guilty.
No.
Yeah, no.
No. Well, maybe they just had to arrest him on that to hold him until they could get evidence against him to say like he murdered him, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. But further investigation, officers found that Brian's credit card was stolen and was used to purchase a previously owned Beamer. So they went to this place called Silmy Auto Sales in Newark and purchased a BMW. Then the owner Silmy, that's the owner's name, said, yeah, Brian purchased the car, here he purchased a Beamer. Then the cops showed him a picture, was this, the guy that purchased the car, and he was like, no, that's not the guy. And then they showed him a mugshot of Lance Silva, and he was like, yeah, that's Brian. And they're like, no, so I guess Lance was using a fake ID pretending to be Brian so he could use his credit card.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So did they know each other though?
Yeah, so because neighbors said that Brian opened his house to pretty much whoever, help out like the homeless. So they're I'm not sure if Lance is a homeless person, but maybe, Brian was like, hey, that's fine. You can stay at my house.
Yeah.
And sleep over. Yeah. Which is crazy. And then also later investigation, the officers found out that Lance Silva used Brian's debit card and took out some cash from the ATM machine, and that's what he used to pay the crime scene cleaning company.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the prosecutors asked to revoke Silva's probation. Mm-hmm. But what's crazy is he was released from jail, but they said he still remains as a person of interest. So that's what I don't get. I mean, he stole the debit card and the credit card. He was the one that called the crime scene cleaning company.
Yeah. What the heck? Innocent people, why would you do that? Why? If you were innocent and you didn't know anything about the murder, why would you do that? Right?
Yeah. Ugh. And why were you cleaning the floors with bleach? Yeah. So that's what I don't get. That's why when I was like looking and like researching more, like I didn't really find any explanation as to why he was released, So, well, of course, friends and family, they weren't happy with the decision. But although the officers promised that they won't stop until they gather enough evidence and put Brian Egg's murder to justice. But that's not evidence enough. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how it works. But for me, he's looking kind of guilty. So yeah. Then last year, September 11th, 2019, I think. So friends, family, and the neighbors, they gathered and they, had a little vigil for Brian. And that was his birthday. And I think up until this day, they still haven't found his head.
That's crazy. So nobody's in jail for it.
No.
They never found his head. Like,
no.
That is, poor guy. I would be so mad if I was his family. That is, wow.
His house is up for sale for $1.5 million. I don't know if I don't know if it's been sold already or, but yeah.
I hope those people know if they bought it. I hope they know what happened there. That's crazy.
I know. Would you move into a murder house?
Hell no. No. Yeah. Never. No.
I know. I'd be too scared too. I think that would be, it's like, did somebody die here? Was somebody murdered? Like those should be the first questions to ask before you purchase a home,
That's the first thing I ask. Like, I don't know. I think because we watch so much true crime, it's the first thing that comes to my mind. Like, what's happened here? Because that's just some bad energy.
Are there any ghosts or something? And then I try to like feel the energy of the house. Like if I feel something.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. When me and my husband were looking for a house like 6 years ago when we moved in this house, that was our thing. He was like, I'm the like finance guy, if it makes sense, if the house is worth it. You're the energy person. So if we go in somewhere and it feels funky, you let me know. There
Right.
was one house we looked at and I didn't even want to walk past the like living room. I didn't want to go in the kitchen. I didn't want to go upstairs. I was just like, nope. And he was like, what's wrong? How do you feel? And I was like, it just doesn't feel good here.
Right.
No, that's just all kinds of bad energy. Like
sometimes it's weird. You just feel it, you know? Like there's just that vibe where you're like, no.
Yes. And you get that anywhere. If you go to like a hotel, have you ever walked in a hotel room and it just hits you get a funky feeling and you're like, oh, but now there's really nothing I can do about it because I already rented this room and it's so like
pay for it. Yeah,
and you don't want to go like, oh, I don't know.
No, that's kind of like one of my not fears, but concerns of like, did somebody die in this house before?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's so sad, poor guy. And like, how can he be at peace like that? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. At least, like find him something, find the murderer, or at least hopefully find his head.
Poor guy. See, what's the moral of the story? You can't trust everybody. Do not trust everybody. Everybody's not your friend.
No. I mean, it's very, very sad, because you have this kind person. And sometimes, like, if you're a really, really good guy, you can't help it. You help. You want to help. But then there are evil people out there that take advantage of that kindness, and it's just very sad. It's a sad world.
How many times have you heard that? Like you heard stories like that where they're trying to help somebody and they take them in and
yeah.
That's sad. Poor guy.
Yeah. So that's our story.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And
poor Brian.
So hopefully though, but the case is not closed.
Good. So I hope they make an arrest. I hope he gets some justice.
Yeah.
Poor guy. That's sad.
Once again, if we hear anything, we'll give you guys an update.
Yes.
On our other videos. So
for sure.
Well, that's our video for today. And we hope you guys like it. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please subscribe. And hit the notification bell so every time we upload, you get notified. And if you have any ideas for stories that you think we should talk about, leave it in the comments below. And that's all we have for today, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yep.